we should be live. What is up, guys? What is good? How is everybody doing today? We have JJK 261. So the chapter is out on TCB, and it's pretty wild. I haven't, beside the first page, I haven't actually read it. I wasn't planning on doing a live reaction. I guess I could do that, but man, what a absolutely wild chapter. Oh my god. I mean, controversial, to say the least. Like, that is putting it lightly to say it's controversial. Oh my goodness. Like, it's just chaos. It's pure chaos everywhere when I check it out online. I mean, most importantly, what do you guys think about the chapter? Like, did you guys actually like it? Did you hate it? Let me go over here and open the on my phone. Alright, so I can see chat. Hey, 7 sins. I'm hyped for next chapter. Oh man, I mean, to be honest, I think I'm one of the few people who actually liked it. Like, genuinely, I thought it was a great chapter, like a very great one. But oh man, like, people, I don't know, people were very against it. What happened? Obviously, everything to do with Yuta taking over Gojo's body. It's meh. That's sort of the reaction that I'm getting from a lot of people. I feel like, I don't want to say more people don't like it, but personally, I thought it was like fantastic. I mean, I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts on it. I think that's the thing. I have so much to say, and I have a good place on where to start, to be honest. The reactions are more positive. I mean, I don't know, because like, maybe it's because of the timeline that I see on my Twitter, but I'm seeing a mostly negative reaction. I had a friend, so my friend said she saw more people liked it, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe she follows different people or something? Because for me, I don't know, like, I'm seeing online a lot of people are hating on it, you know? People are hating, but it's the same as 236. I thought it was, like, fantastic. No, but I mean even on Twitter. Like, on Twitter, some people are saying they're seeing a positive reaction, but personally, I'm seeing, like, a very good one. You know what? Let me show my screen. Alright, I'll go over I have so many thoughts on this chapter, guys. Like, I don't even know where to even start. That's the craziest part. Hey, Tiberius as well. I think you got to remember last thing as well. Jujutsu Kaisen's rereadability is insane. I'm telling you, man, it's better on reread. I think that's what Gege is going for, to be honest. It's really good. Well, okay, I know I shouldn't say that, actually. Wait. Nah, I kind of take that back. It's got good reread, but I think my thoughts are more complex than just saying. It is good when you reread it, though. I will admit that. Well, like, when you go for a reread, it's fun, it's quick, it's to the point. I have some issues with it, but you know, it is what it is. Look, all right. So my monitor. Oh my goodness, there is a lot to talk about. Again, I have not even read the chapter on TCB. I read the first page, which is where I got this because I wanted to post this. And I was kind of planning on, well, not planning on, but it's a good. Oh, I should not show leaked panels live. That is like not a good idea. Let me go one by one. All right. So yeah, sort of just the reactions to, yeah, there's Kurito as well. Shout out, go artist, absolutely good. Why is Rush Hour trending? Money Talks. Wait, is it a movie or is this just something else? If Rush Hour 4 is coming out, I'm gonna lose my mind because that's my favorite movie series of all time. Wait, let me turn my brightness up on my phone too. I'm looking forward to seeing what Yuta can do. I mean, he's gonna be crazy. 216 is gonna be special. I thought it was fantastic, but all right, let's go through this one by one. All right. So okay. First of all, I thought this was just like an innocent theory I put out there on how maybe Gojo could come back. Oh my god, the backlash was hilarious, to say the least. Like, I don't think I've made people this angry in months. Like, I think the last time must have been like in December. Yeah, I think it was December when I had like people this mad at me for something. And it was just because like I put a innocent theory that Gojo's coming. Like, for this split moment, I experienced 1% of the pain that Bailey feels every time she tweets. Like, just for this one tweet, I experienced like 1% of all the trauma that all Gojo revival theorists go through. It is insane. Like, you can just say, hey, Gojo's coming back, and people get angry. Listen, you can disagree. It's okay. I know it's cope. I know it's crazy. That's fine. That's completely fine, but I mean, the way people get mad at this, I'm like, dude, come on, lads. Come on, lads. You always make people angry? Not always. I would just say every once in a while. Like, every once in a while, I'll just say something that I don't even know is controversial and it just sets people off. So I'll read this for you guys here, alright? I should probably hide the... My messages are bugging out as well on the bottom right. Let me hide this image here. You know, actually, I'll put the image like right here in case the messages pops up so I can like hide it. Boom. Alright, so what I said is like, and let me know if you guys think. Again, you don't have to agree with it, but it is what it is. Like, I said there's no way Gege added this super important moment for it to never come back ever again. The odds of Gojo coming back, and I still believe this, I think it's higher than the last chapter because of this chapter alone. And it's because of this moment. It's when we see Geto's body react to... Geto's body react to Kenjaku. Or like, there's still will in it. There's still a will there. And I said, you know, he's not a bad author. I'm sure he wrote this with a purpose. And of course, there is this fanbook line where Akutami says, it's not like he's referring to this whole scene above us. When they asked how much of Geto's true will is there, he says not much. It's like when a dragonfly can still move when its head ripped off. And obviously, this is my point is, I think this is like fair to say against Gojo's return, but I still feel like this could be different with Gojo compared to Geto for two reasons. The biggest reason is, like, when the question says how much of the will is there, it's sort of implying like the will is fading with time. And because Kenjaku's had his body for like over a year, that's probably the reason why the will completely went. Whereas compared to this with Gojo, who just died, like he just died, it's just different. You know, Geto's been dead for a year. Unlike Geto, his will should be there. At least like a massive chunk of his will should still be there. And the second reason is it was foreshadowed. And this, again, Kenjaku's saying this after he saw Geto react to Thingy's own words. You're not gonna let your body be used like this, Satoru Gojo? That would be hilarious. You know, I was saying like, you know, it's been foreshadowed. And no, it's not even, this has just been straight up said that the body is the soul and the soul is the body. It's just been straight up said. Oh, by the way, let me, I saw Tiberius. Let me turn that back on. Much love for the 5. Much love for the 5. Tiberius, very sweet. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Sacrificing your humanity for the sake of pursuing a higher level of Jujutsu is what Sukuna recognized. Oh, definitely. I will get into that now. Like, after this theory part, I will get into that. Like, I could not agree more with that. Shout out to Yuta for getting acknowledged, BTW. Like, all that stuff you just said, I'll be getting into in the tweets I made, like, yesterday. But, again, completely agree. Mad respect to Yuta. Mad shout out. And again, he got acknowledged. He got his full name said. Absolutely going moment for Yuta. And again, much appreciated, Tiberius. That's awesome. Absolutely appreciate it, man. Much appreciated. But, what I was saying, oh yeah, it was about this. Look, but the body is the soul and the soul is the body. And remember what Ui said. How, like, even with Mahito's technique, when you affect the shape of the soul, it affects the shape of the body, right? But Ui has to do it in a special way, so it doesn't do that. And even saw Toji, how he didn't have his soul. Only the body was brought back, yet Toji was fully there. You know, Toji was still back, he was thinking, he was talking, he had his memories. He was like he was before, beside, like, the technique affecting his state of mind. So, Gojo, for that reason, could come back. There's two very good reasons. I'm not saying he will. I'm just saying it's possible that he could come back. That's all I was saying. I was like, you know, it's a theory. It's a cool theory. You know, it's innocent. You know, it is what it is. And then it exploded. Like, people got viscerally upset at this. Like, viscerally upset. It was insane. And also, you know, I don't mean... Oh, by the way, I think I said... I saw it said in the sunset earlier. Let me check. No, it was Mr. 60. But Yuta's brain is in Gojo's body. How would that work? So this is what I was going to get into for the second part of the theory, right? So, first of all, I don't mean Gojo is going to take his body back and erase Yuta. Like, he's not going to just erase Yuta's solar existence and take his body back. For Yuta to be in Gojo's body, it means he must have at least body swap curse technique, even if he lost his copy. Because Mei theorizes, like, a possibility is that he'll lose his copy curse technique. But at the very least, Okotsu must have the body transfer technique. I mean, I guess it's possible that he doesn't have the body transfer technique, but it wouldn't make sense since the body transfer technique is what's keeping his brain in there. Unless it was like what Mimi said before, how it's a one-time use, so even if you don't have the curse technique anymore, the effect's still been work. Like, it's still in work, right? It's still in effect. I guess that's possible. I guess that is a good possibility. But regardless, for now, I'm assuming Okotsu still has the body swap technique, even if he's lost copy. But I think he should have copy. The copy should be ingrained on his brain, and that's been transferred. Just like how it is when Kenjaku had the anti-gravity transferred when he switched bodies. So for that reason, copy should move over to the Gojo body. Again, maybe there's an explanation and there's a specific reason the copy didn't move of Yuta, but for now, like with the definition and explanation that I've gone of Kenjaku and evidence of Kenjaku when he body swapped, Yuta, in Gojo's body should have copy, at least. And if he has copy, it means he also has body swap, right? So if he's not dead after 5 minutes, and this is referring to one of Meimei's theories where after 5 minutes is up, Yuta won't have copy, he'll just die. He'll just cease to exist because the copy ends. So if he's not dead after 5 minutes, Yuta should be able to go back into his own body. And as for how Yuta can go back into his own body, we saw his body was damaged beyond repair, right? But we saw that Shoko was able to heal up Gojo's body, which was even worse than Yuta's body. It was a lot worse, like he just died instantly. So if they could heal Gojo's corpse like that, yes, they can actually heal Yuta's body in the same way. So if Yuta's, let's say, defeated or the time limit runs out, I know it's unlikely to happen, I'm just saying it's possible that he could go back to his own body and put his own brain or consciousness via this technique back into his own body. And I feel like this is something Yuta fans should want, because otherwise he just dies. He dies alongside with Gojo's body. So it is what it is. I think copy didn't move because Rika is attached to Yuta's body. No, but the technique is engraved on Yuta's body. Rika and copy are two different techniques. As said by the narrator, they're two separate techniques. So even if Rika is attached to Yuta's body, which is, I mean, I guess Yuta's brain is in Gojo, it's a bit weird, but even if that's the case, the technique should be with Yuta. That's not Rika's technique. Rika is the storage, so maybe he'd lose access to those techniques, but he should still have the copy technique itself. And we know, like with Kenjaku, you can have 4 curse techniques at the same time on your brain. So he has copy, he has Kenjaku's body swap, he has Gojo's limitless, and then the 4th one could be any. I mean, he could have Cleaving Mantle as the 4th option. That's if he doesn't get Rika. If Rika comes along with him, which it could be possible, I mean, I don't see why not, then, hey, there we go. I mean, you get Yuta with all of his copy techniques, and oh my god, that is insane. And Gojo's domain expansion, that is wild. So, yeah. I remember, so Mint here said, so nobody acknowledges his death, and they decide to use his body, referring to Gojo, and they decide to use his body like a tool even after he's gone. Okay, alright. And it does make it pretty depressing, isn't it? Because, like, is it not sad how only Yuta, like, out of everyone we see in this chapter, no one's even thinking about Gojo almost like he's human. I know they are, but I just mean, like, on a deeper level. And I actually should go through the full translations now that we have them as well. I'll do that on stream now, so I can give you guys a better, how do I say this, insight of my thoughts on this. But at least, you know, it seemed like Yuta was the only one who actually cared about Gojo on a deep level. You know, if you read the chapter, he's saying, you know, what do you guys think, he's a monster? Do we need a monster? Then I can be that monster. Like, he does actually care about him. And I think this is what makes it so much crazy, because, like, I'll go over these 2 tweets I made about it. I think these are really good for my thoughts. Like, Yuta's the last type of person who'd want to do this, because we all know this. Yuta's kind, he's empathetic, and it's even worse knowing that he sees Gojo's memories and all the hardships Gojo's been through and all the pain that he goes through. He has all of them. He has all of that, and it must be killing him, because he's probably the worst person out of everybody. All the characters, Maki, Yuta, all of them. He's the worst person who could have gotten this, who had to go through this. Because he's this type of person, it's why I respect him this much. This isn't something he wants to do, but he knows that this is something he has to do. Like, again, it goes back to what he was saying, where we just can't play it safe. We can't not take risk and even, like, keep our humanity if we want to beat the strongest. Where he says, if it means being the strongest sorcerer in history, then casting away our humanity, like, that's the least of our worries. You know what I mean? Hey, Mr. Sal, it's good to see you as well. Mr. Sal, I mean, if you guys don't know, Mr. Sal's also a YouTuber as well. Shout out, you make gaming videos. I see your edits. I watched your recent edit as well. But he's been here way before I was doing JJK. Like, when I was streaming and I would get like 3 people, he'd be one of them. So, my guy, Mr. South, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Good to see you, man. Shoko did nothing wrong. I mean, she's hot, so I forgive her. It is what it is. I mean, oh, Shoko, this chapter. Anyway, alright, sorry. Focus. I gotta focus. You know, my neurons just activated. Gotta go back to the chapter. Anyway. That's why this is why I respect Yuta so much, right? I just said this. Like, he doesn't want to do this. It's the last thing he'd ever do. But he's seriously just casting away his humanity to beat Sukuna. Like, that is why Sukuna respects him. I'll talk about it later on, but that's why he respects him. And again, I kind of go over it more with Rue. Shout out Rue as well. Lovely person. Like, she's an absolute sweetheart. But, yeah, I appreciate it, man. Mr. Styles, you're way too kind. You're way too kind, man. Much love. My absolute... I'm telling you, man, Mr. Styles is the GOAT. If you need some great gaming content, check him out. Absolute go right there. I remember Genshin. We both play Genshin as well. But right, for Yuta, it's the fact that Yuta's the only one, not the only one. Maybe this is I was a bit exaggerating this, but he's the one who cared about Gojo the most, I think. At least, who understood him the most. And he did care about him. In that moment, it was him who's like caring the most about him. And he understood him much more than others, which is why it's so heartbreaking. It's because he's the most empathetic, the most kind, but only he's capable of doing this. It's not like you could just pass the role off to, like, I was going to say Haraki, I don't know what that even means. Hakari, or like Shoko, or Maki to do this. The only one who can do this is Yuta. The only one. Right? So he has to cast away his own humanity and likely his own life to just save everybody else. It was just a phenomenal moment for Yuta. And Yuji as well, which I'll get into. Hey, Dice, good to see you. We've only been live for like 16 minutes. We're early. We are very early. What is good? Rika passed on. I mean, the shell is still there. The husk is still there. But, by the way, listen, also shout MJ. He's funny. He's a very funny guy on Twitter. I don't know if you know, like a Hikari fan. Very funny. But, man, the Hikari fans, the crash out I've seen this. On my bingo list of like which fan base was going to crash out, I had not Yuta fans, sorry. I had Gojo fans would crash out, Sukuna fans would crash out, or like Kinjaku fans would crash out. Never was it on my list that Hikari fans would be the one to crash out. Hikari fans like lost their mind, bro. And I realized like, oh, it's because Yuta's like fighting Sukuna again. He's fighting him before like Hikari's even touched him. He's refighting him, right? And I guess that's the reason, because like the reaction I saw from Hikari fans on Twitter was insane. Like, bro, I mean, I'm not gonna play this now, but like, it was funny. It was so funny. It was just crash out. It was just a crash out, man. And I know the jokes as well, but there's some truth in some of what they're saying. How, look at this. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm kind of blocking the chat. Let me hide that. Like the crash out was insane. Because, again, even Kree was saying, like, how, what was he saying? Like, Kinjaku's back, this is, like, he's going, I knew he'd come back, but a couple minutes later, when he found out it was Yuta, he's like, oh, this is the worst chapter, horrible writing, something like that. I'm really paraphrasing right now. Something along those lines, which, it's not just him, it's not just it's all Hikari fans. I'm not, like, even blaming them, I just think it's funny, I just think it's hilarious, and it just wasn't what I was expecting. Like, if you had told me at the end of 261, that it was going to be Hikari fans who'd crash out, I just would have thought, I just couldn't have predicted it. I couldn't, but it's what happened. And it's something I want to talk about later on, like fans crashing out, it being controversial, it being well written, but people hating it and saying it's not. That is something I will talk about soon. I think that's probably the most important discussion I'll even have today about this chapter generally. And also this, in case you missed it, it was in Tiberius's dono as well. Sukuna addressed Yuta by his full name, meaning he finally acknowledged Yuta of being worthy of his respect, which is wild, and of course it makes sense since he didn't expect Yuta to go that far to push him, to beat him. Yuta cast away his very humanity, something that Sukuna's done as well, to defeat this man. It's absolutely wild. Seriously, it's just such a crazy moment, and I love it because I remember many of us were expecting, a lot of us, I'm not going to say it's like only, it was like a majority of people I think, were expecting him to say Yuta's full name at some point, and we're all expecting Yuji, like we know that's coming, the Yuji one as well, but I just was not expecting it this chapter, because I thought it would take longer for Yuta to come back. And this is my thoughts by the end of the day, right? I feel like I'm the one of the only few who love this chapter like a lot, because I really like this chapter. It's funny because, and this right here, if there's one thing you're going to take away from the stream, or you have to see, I think it's this part. I think this is the most important thing I'm going to have to say today. But I'll read this and I'll explain it more like in depth, right? Because it's funny because I personally wanted Gojo to come back. You even saw theories I made now, like I wanted Gojo to come back. I was saying even like previous stream, like a day or two ago, I'd love for Gojo to come back. It would be awesome. But just because he didn't come back, that didn't affect how I felt about this chapter at all. I still love this chapter a lot, actually. I thought it was one of the best chapters, I think, of JJK. It was that good. It was absolutely good. No, by the way, Mr. 60, I mean Gojo actually coming back, not his body. Like if Gojo really coming back, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I think being able to separate your agenda with your enjoyment of the series is a blessing. Alright, now here's where I go in depth with this. Okay, you know, actually, let me go to one reply, right? You know, shout out Tunnel Flame. Shout out Tunnel Flame. Yeah, a lot of the complaints were due to agenda. Let me just go to, which reply was it? Yeah, like this, what this person said, Satoru, is JJK fan first, Gojo fan second. And I feel like that's the best way to sum up my feelings for any character. Like whether I hate them or love them. Even if I hate a character, if they do something really crazy, which I didn't want them to do, if the chapter's good, it's good. Like if I enjoy, if I'm gonna enjoy the series, I'm gonna enjoy it, even if I don't like that character. And vice versa, if someone I love didn't come back or was cooked, I mean, it doesn't mean that I'm gonna hate the chapter. I mean, it's not always like that, and I'll explain more in depth with this now. Like for example, with Kashimo and certain situations, right? So I think that there can be well-written and fantastic moments that you cannot like, which is okay. That's fine, guys. Like there can be something you can say, like, this is peak writing. I just don't like it though, simply because I just don't. It's how I feel. I don't like the choice. I don't like the direction. That's okay. But then of course there's the opposite, where something can be poorly written or like a bad execution, and you can say, like, how do I say this? This is peak fiction. This is great. Like people say that, right? You can say, maybe not peak fiction, sorry, I was, wrong choice of words. You can say, I really like it. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. Like, you can see a moment that's really, really bad, and objectively, you can say, like, this was shit. Like, this writing is garbage. But you can still be like, I still enjoyed it, though. I enjoyed it. I feel like this moment with Gojo is vice versa of option 1 that I said. Where it's something that's actually well written, right? It's something very well written, but understandably so, it's a controversial choice. A lot of people don't like it, but now people are like, it's clouding their ability to, like, their reading comprehension. I don't mean that in an insult. I just mean that in the actual definition, because it's an actual word. Reading comprehensions, I know people use it as an insult now, it's only used as an insult. I actually mean it by its real definition. I feel like it's clouding their ability to comprehend what they're reading, to comprehend if it's good or not. Because they don't like it, they intertwine that with this is bad, which people don't understand. Something can be well written, but you can just not like it. That's okay. Like that's fantastic. Like that's fine. Like fine. And I agree with that, Yokai. Good writing is subjective, but I do believe there's still objective points to it. I do like everything in life. There's a balance. Not everything is completely objective. Not everything is completely subjective. Well, there's things that are objective and subjective, but actually that's not true. A lot of things can be subjective, a lot of things are only objective, but I think most things in life are a mixture of both, right? That's what I was trying to say. And I feel like writing is one of those things where there are objective points, like, okay, objectively you can say this is well written, but there's also a subjective aspect to it where you can say, no, actually, I don't think that's well written. But I think at least for the Gojo part, I think for the most part, it's good writing. I think even if you don't like the choice or the direction it went, that's okay. You can not like it. But it's just one of those things where, like, people, again, and it's due to agendas, which this is the second thing I'll touch upon now. It's like, because I've already said this, but like last time I'll say it, I wanted Gojo to come back. I wanted Kenjaku to come back. I didn't want Yuta to die. I hate how bad this makes Akari look. Because I'm thinking all these things, or because my theories didn't come true, because what I want didn't happen, this is bad. This is horrible writing. Gege sucks. When it's just not the case. And it's a shame that it's this way. It's a very, like, sad thing to see, but understandably so, because the fan base is just so big that things just sort of spiral out of control when a fan base becomes this massive for a story. And that's the second thing I want to talk about. Agendas. I love agendas. Absolutely. I think it makes the community so much more fun. I think they're hilarious. I think it's just funny, right? I think it's just a fun time. Having the anti-Akari agenda, or the pro-Yuta agenda. I think that's just like when you make jokes about saying Akari's been stalled for 25 chapters. I don't actually believe that. I don't actually think he's a fraud. It's just funny to make those jokes for the sake of an agenda. You know, when you say, what other agendas are there? You know, Maki's like XP farm. It's just an agenda. Like, no one actually, about it, I don't say that, but I'm saying when people say that for an agenda. It's funny, right? It's just a funny thing. I think the issue with agendas come when you let it cloud your judgment of a series, right? it's like when you say what I want, like what I want didn't happen, that you let it, like, now you're starting to let it cloud you. Where you say, like, because Gojo didn't come back, because a lot of people wanted Gojo to come back, he didn't, they hated it. Like, so Gojo fans hate this because, like, Gojo's body was taken and all that stuff. And then, of course, with Sukuna. Sukuna fans generally just hate Gojo being back, and mainly it's because all Sukuna fans are wrong. Because they were adamant, and I mean Sukuna fans, like, you can clown Gojo fans for being wrong, like, because I'm seeing Sukuna fans clown Gojo fans relentlessly, saying, look how wrong you are, he didn't come back, it wasn't him. But Sukuna fans were equally wrong. You know, like, Sukuna fans predicted, it's a hallucination, it's a ghost, like, if you say otherwise, you're stupid, you're crazy. They were just as wrong as the Gojo fans. Like, they are just as wrong. I feel like the only person who should have bragging rights to talk shit about being right is people who predicted it's Yuta, like Alonzi. You know what I mean? I feel like people don't even understand that all the implications that are in this chapter. It has to be one of the most important chapters in JJK. It really is. It really is for both Yuta and Yuji's character. Like, I touched upon the Yuta part earlier on, and I'll touch upon the Yuji and more of Yuta's part further on in the stream, but it's so important for both their characters, honestly. Akari isn't a fraud. You all need to let that word go. Again, I don't actually think he's a fraud, right? So in my new video, I think I explain it a lot in depth there, where I just outright just say, Akari isn't a fraud. I make those jokes, like, I'll still make those jokes, and I still will. I think I made those jokes even after I made that video, like I said in the video. If you really want my true thoughts on Akari, like, without jokes and agendas, you watch this video. And even in this video, I talk about how the agendas are wrong. Like, when you say Akari's a fraud, Akari's weak, weakest head here, it's just wrong. I talk about it in this video. Does that mean I'm going to stop saying that for jokes? No. I'm still going to say them as just jokes and agenda, because for me, I don't think it's that serious. I don't think agendas, you know what I mean? I just don't take them that seriously. Maybe I'm not like other people and they treat anime agenda like politics or something like this, but it's just not me. I don't know why. I could just never take it seriously. It's all just for good fun. But, and again, that's why I think, like, going back to this point, the agendas is what's hurting this chapter. So, like I said, if Gojo fans, their theories didn't come true, thus, you know, they become upset because they really want Gojo to come back. Understandable. Sukuna fans, they hate it because all their theories are wrong, and they were so adamant that it was a hallucination of Gojo, or like a hallucination or, sorry, no Gojo, or like something like that, you know, a ghost or something. And they were just adamant that he wasn't physically there. So Sukuna fans were also upset that they were wrong. Then we get Yuta fans, you know what, somewhat happy, you know, shout out Yuta fans, they're a bit happy. There are actually a decent number of Yuta fans though who still hate it because now Yuta's gonna die. They wanted Yuta to come back with his own power, get his own awakening, or not die, you know, they want Yuta to live end of series. And of course you have Akari fans who hate this because it makes Akari look so bad, just in terms of agenda, and for them agenda is everything. So, you know, for me it's just jokes and just laughs. For them, they take it very, very seriously, just some people. And because of that, you can see the reaction. People viscerally hate this chapter and call it bad writing because it hurts their agenda. And you can see, like, this was just one of those moments where I think was such a well-written moment. It was so well done, but so many people are hating on it because of agendas, because of, like, what they said didn't come true. And don't get me wrong, I would say like 60 to 70% of people hate on this for that reason. There's still, like, I would say the other 30-40% that just don't like it because they don't like it. That's fair. You don't have to like every choice. They just thought it was a poor decision by JJK. Completely fair. Doesn't change that I think it was very well executed. It was very well written. And it makes complete sense of the story. And it's great both narratively for Yuta, Yuji. I'll touch upon both those things. And also for Sukuna as well. Like, it's just so good, and it even gives more depth to Gojo as well when you saw in this flashback. It was just good. In, like, any objective or even subjective way you look at it, I think it was just good for everyone. It elevates all the characters. It was a fantastic plot twist no one saw coming. It's like genuinely a shocking moment, and most importantly, it makes sense within the story itself. And it's just like making these characters so much better. Like, we're getting so much depth to all these characters and so much more character development. When you look at it from an objective point of view, it's really, really good. But I can understand, like I was saying earlier on the stream, if you just don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to, even if something's well written, you can still hate it. Even if something's poorly written, you can still like it. But I just think this is one of those instances where it is well written. If you don't like it, that's fine. Just, I think calling it bad writing is wrong. That's kind of like the point of all this. Luffy, we love you. No, I thought he said, no. I read Luffy Taro, I thought he said Luffy. Yuta, we love you. Well, we love Luffy as well. A lot, actually. Alright, shout out Luffy, goat. But Yuta, yeah. Like, oh my god, Yuta. Like, this was so hard on Yuta. Because again, like I was saying earlier on, like the most kindest, the most empathetic character, the one who's the last person who would ever want to do this, and the one who cares about Gojo the most is the one who has to do this. He's the only one who can do this. He's the one who has to do this to save everybody. Like, he's throwing away his like humanity. He is going against what he believes, his morals, his ideals, his beliefs, even like his very, like I said, humanity, just to protect the people that he loves and defeat Sukuna. Like, you have to respect it so much. It's just such a phenomenal moment. And every time that Rise Against Yuta shall fall, and that's something that was upsetting as well. Like, I saw people hating on Yuta because he took Gojo's body, but Gojo gave him permission. And again, it's one of those things where only Yuta was the one who even cared about Gojo. Where people were saying you shouldn't do it because it's inhumane, but Yuta is saying no, think about how Gojo feels. You know what I mean? He was the one who actually cared about Gojo's feelings rather than just it being ethical. So shout out Yuta, man. And again, I can't even lie, like, this was crazy. Like, you really gotta just give Sukuna a massive shout because Sukuna's him, so I'll read this here. Like, we needed 20 people to 20v1 this guy in separated multiple fights with no rest, all back to back, like 6-7 like fights, something like that. And he's just like getting hit by the most bullshit possible, and they've all planned to be like, they are prepped like from up and down with multi-layered plans on top of multi-layered plans. And like, now they need to revive Gojo and Yuta and fuse them in this like horrific Dragon Ball Z fusion. Like, what is it, Vegito? What would this be called? Yujo, I guess? Maybe Gota, something like that. It's to beat this guy, and it's like, damn, it's just so nice to see such a fantastic gauntlet on this whole Sukuna run. It is really cool to see. I can't even lie. I remember when you were conflicted. Wait, on what specifically? What was that conflicted on? Yuji himself can't stop the merger. Oh, he needs 6 Eyes Yuta. I mean, again, it seems like maybe, what's his name? I don't know. Because it seems like maybe Yuta's gonna die, isn't it? I don't even know if he'll be around for the merger. I mean, I guess it's possible that Sukuna's just gonna get his ass beaten so badly by Gota. I'll just call him Gota. And I'll just say Yuta. That's just it's gonna confuse people if we haven't established that before. But maybe he's gonna get beaten so badly. So yeah, fuck this. I'm just gonna summon the merger. Maybe. It's a Kendrick bar? Oh, is it Kendrick bar? Wait a minute. Oh, I remember you was conflicted. Oh my, it's a Kendrick bar. Fair enough. There's no way that's happening. That's response to... What happens if Yuta ends up doing nothing? No, he'll do something. I mean, at the very least, I think he'll... How do I say this? Sukuna right now is at half. Maybe a bit less than half. That's where he's at right now. Like, just all stats. Maybe health is a bit lower than half. But I feel like Yuta will just at least put him down to like 30%. From like 50 to 30. Assuming he only has 5 minutes. If he has longer than 5 minutes, I think he just wins. I'm not gonna lie. If he has more than 5 minutes, he just wins the fight. It's game over. Unfortunately, for Sukuna, which I don't think, for that reason, I don't think it's gonna happen. But look at this, all right. Oh god, this is pretty crazy. But let me zoom in here so you guys can see the Twitter text better. Maybe a bit more than that, right? Here we go. Listen. I mean, this is pretty crazy. Like, I'll read this here for you guys. Like, tears in my eyes. Sukuna literally punched Yuji to the sideline as if he's irrelevant. I can't believe this is real. Like, while gassing Yuta at the same time. Look at this. Literally, he sees Yuta as he's saying, like, I apologize, I wasn't familiar with your game. He punches Yuji away while gassing Yuta. Like, again, I guess I'm glad knowing Yuji's going to be the one to beat him in the end, and I know for a fact Yuji's going to get his get back. Like, for a fact, Yuji's going to smoke Sukuna, absolutely. But that was kind of dirty. Like, I cannot lie, that was diabolical from Gege. He just vicious, absolutely vicious. Oh my goodness. Yeah, what did I just read? I have to scroll back up for that. Wait, I'm not losing the Ashes. Shout Ashes as well. I think you've been here since like I think at the beginning of JJK on this channel, at least very early on. Shout out you, the Zhao profile picture. Bro, Yuta looks like a twerp. I don't think I've ever heard someone use the word twerp in the chat, ever, in this chat. Yuta looks like a twerp, even in Gojo's body, bro, why? So, the reason is, I remember what's his name? Eternal Flame was saying, why does Gojo look so weird in this chapter? It's because he has Yuta's expressions. If this was Gojo in this moment, Gojo would be smirking like a madman. He would be laughing maniacally. We know in lore he has done this before in the past. That is what he would be doing right now. He would not have this, oh, innocent, like, little cutesy face, like, right here, you know, just blank, you know, no anger, no whatever, you know, just innocent, like, just so innocent looking face, right? This is, I don't know, to do this, Gege is a fantastic author, like, very fantastic author, how he can, I don't know how he does it, but, like, you can tell this is Yuta. Like, you can just, by looking at the expression, you can tell it's Yuta. A softie, yeah. You know? Like, look at this page. This looks so off. If you would just, like, if you would remove the stitch marks, like, someone, like, just edits, I can actually do that. I can, like, just white out this part and just make it so there's no stitch marks. And you show this to someone and you say, and Eternal Flame, funny enough, my best of Furenda, we're talking literally about your tweet, Eternal Flame, as well, like, literally. Things have been too peaceful to stream. Who do you think will win this battle? Yuji Ta or current Sukuna? Let me make that a poll. Actually. That is a good shout, because I have not made a poll this stream. Support, no, close. Oh, wait, that was the right thing. Start poll. Just got here. Yeah, we were talking about you earlier on. We were talking about your tweet, and I was like starting to go in depth with it. Let me ask the thing. Who will... I mean, we know Sukuna's gonna win, but I'll just ask anyway. Let's say how do you say Gojo? Yujo? Something like that? I don't know. And then we can have Sukuna. Alright. Who will win? Actually, you know what? We know Sukuna's gonna win. I should not say that. I'll say this. Well, if it would load... Oh no, don't tell me it's gonna crash. Don't tell me it's gonna crash. I'm gonna say who will perform better. Who will... Oh, there we go. If you think Yuta's gonna, like... Oh, wait a minute. Are we still good? Oh, wait a minute. The stream just got cooked. Think it crashed? Wait. I think we're good, guys. I think we're good. Just refresh, please. We're good? Refresh? It's back? Yeah. We good? Oh, my bad about that, guys. My internet. Refresh if it crashed. Here we go. My bad about that, guys. My internet. I feel like it's just a common thing that happens every time in the stream. We back. I made the poll, though. And to also touch upon Eternals, don't know. Yeah, okay, we did actually. We made a poll about that. Alright. But what I was talking about was, like, what we were talking about, right, was this. How Gojo looks off. So this is what I was talking about before. If you were to remove these stitch marks and just show it to someone who doesn't know what's going on, like, this is Gojo right now, they'd say, why does he look so weird? Because he doesn't look like Gojo right now. And it's because if this was Gojo in this situation, he would be smiling like a maniac. We have literally seen Gojo before domain clashes and after domain clashes, where he's got the most cheeky grin imaginable. At least he's got a grin on all the time, if not a huge smile, like he's always laughing, like outright laughing. Similar to how Sukuna's got a smile here, that's what Gojo would be doing in a normal situation. But that's how it's so good, I think. You just look and you know something's off because he's not acting like Gojo. And it's because it's Yuta. Like, the way that he's able to just so... Like, I don't know how to explain. Like, he's able to draw Yuta's personality and expressions so well on Gojo's face that you can just tell something's off if you didn't know Yuta was in his body. That's just crazy. Hate to say this, but Yuta's dying. I mean, probably Soma. Good to see you as well, Soma. Good to see you. But, probably. Hopefully not, though. I mean, hopefully not. But, right, I cannot show the leaks. Oh, like, that is a dangerous game to do live. I do not want to get banned. Or copyright strike live. But, yeah, Shoko, by the way, absolutely fine. Like, absolutely fine. Yeah, oh, this is something I want to talk about. This is something I want to talk about. Do it or no? I can show the Shoko page, by the way, just not the leaks part of it. I can show, from TCB. Actually, I'll do that now as well, so you guys know what I'm talking about. I'll go to big monitor, just so I can go to TCB, oh my god. Damn. Oh, due to this chapter, man, I'm just reading it now as I go through. Just phenomenal. Good moment. Let me show this. Let me go to big monitor so you guys can see. Look at that. Damn. Let me, hide the image here so it doesn't block it too much, and I'll zoom in too. Zoom in. Oh, well, okay, we just kind of teleport across the thing. Damn, look at this. Look at that, man. Oh my god. That is wild. The Shoko thing was this, by the way.
My best
Damn, Shoko. So fun. It's absolutely fine, man. Absolutely fine. Oh my goodness. I feel like I fell in love all over again. Anyway, look at this. Oh my goodness. Let me press F11 on that. Damn. Look at that. That is not crazy. Like, who would have thought we would have gone to see domain clashes once again? Hey, Tiberius, much appreciated, man, for the 10. Go with YouTube, absolutely go with YouTuber. Much appreciated for the 10, man. Much love. I feel like Gojo got more characterization from 3.5 plus. I gotta let me scroll back up to it. Sukuna's able to reach him. Gojo is put on a pedestal, but now as a reader we view him through a different lens, now that he's getting moments that humanize him. It is true though, I really feel like we're getting more of the human part from Gojo, and we gotta thank Yuta for that as well. But damn, does this not look how crazy this looks. Oh my god, this is insane. This is masterpiece is all I'll say. Peak fiction, you know. But let's go F11 and go back to the tweet here. So this is what I want to talk about. This is so important. I personally think Yuta will win the domain clash thanks to Yuji and right there to help him, but he probably dies from him being hit by Unlimited Void. Oh wait, are you saying Yuji and Todo die from Unlimited Void? Or are you saying Yuta dies from Unlimited? Because Yuta can't die; it's his own sure hit now. But right, this chapter. So I'll read this here for you guys, and I'll expand upon my thoughts in a lot more depth once I've read this. Right, this chapter was incredible for both Yuta and Yuji. I know a lot of people are saying Yuji is disrespected, Yuji like pushed to the side, Gege hates Yuji, but I thought this chapter elevated Yuji so much for me. And it's like, it genuinely shot them up so much in my favorites. I respect Yuta so much more for going against his morals, ideals, and even very beliefs to win. Like, this guy is discarding his very humanity to beat Sukuna, to save those who cares about. You cannot help but respect it, and that's why Sukuna respects it so much. Yet, the opposite of this is what makes Yuji so fantastic. It's what makes Yuji so great, and it's why we love Yuji so much. Yuji's ideal is to be unbreakable, and also, by that logic, his ideals are unbreakable. He would never do something like this, and it's why Sukuna hates him so much. Like, it's why he calls him boring. It's why Sukuna hates Yuji more than anybody else. It's not just because it was his vessel, but he truly hates Yuji to a core because they are just the opposites. Yuji would never betray his humanity. Like, he hates that kind of thing. Like, you get what I mean? So even though Yuta did something that gained so much respect from us and Sukuna, like, Yuji not doing this, Yuji not going this far, yet still he probably is going to be the one, likely, I think he will be the one, to defeat Sukuna. That is why it's so poetic. The one who's, like, Yuta is turning into Sukuna to beat him. Like, he's casting away his humanity and giving it his all to beat Sukuna. Whereas Yuji, like, he doesn't do that. He will never give away his humanity. He is the opposite of Sukuna. He's not just like Sukuna. He is his true, like, opposition. And that's why if and when he is the one who defeats Sukuna, it will be so poetic. Honestly. Like, it's just poetry. And obviously we have that here. I know his ideal is to be unbreakable. His will is unshakable, as was said by different translations. And of course, by that, how do I say this? By, like, this logic, his ideal is also unbreakable. Like, it's just, you just can't break it. Also, Mr. 60, are you here in the chat as well? I know you were just here before. If you're still here. Yeah, you were just here like a moment ago. But, yeah. You know what I mean? Let's read Mr. 60's thoughts here. People hating on this peak chapter that has the community in a strong grip. It adds, again, I couldn't agree more to this. This chapter added so much for Yuta and Gojo. I thought it would just be hallucination. I just picture that. Hallucination, sorry. But the stitches, like the panel that moved him, I thought Kenny at first, most of us did, because Sukuna was happy. But of course, it was Sukuna. Damn. Absolutely. Hey, I see Miss 60 in chat as well. And again, I just thought it was like fantastic, but people were upset because their agendas didn't come true. You know this? Yeah, it is what it is, you know. Just giving some Yuji praise, sorry. They're trying to put down my boy. Absolutely, there's no chance for doing that. No, never in my reply section. And yeah, again, it's just like, this is why I think more than ever Yuji has to be the one to beat Sukuna. And it could even be a possibility that Sukuna, I'm still on the train that Sukuna will get, like, say Yuji's name. I think that will happen, but it could be a possibility that he never will say his name. And he will just hate Yuji right till the end, and he will just be defeated by the beliefs and even ideologies that are against his. It will prove him wrong. And maybe that might change him at the end. Not in a, I'm gonna be a good guy at the end, like Obito Amada or something, where, you know, I'm good in the end. I think he'll be evil right till the very end, but maybe at the end he'll be like, you know what? Maybe I was wrong. Like, I don't regret anything I did, still an evil person, still all this, but maybe his ideology was what was wrong. I think that might happen. Not saying he's gonna turn good, I think he'll still be as evil as he is when he dies. More so just giving props to Yuji in that way. Until he's defeated by the ideology that's not his, I don't think he could ever respect Yuji. Pretty crazy. Pretty wild. So, man, I just cannot wait for it, though. I just cannot wait for that. Yuji will humble that beast? Oh, for sure. Absolutely. I think he already gave him a massive spoon of humble pie when he was just cooking him with those black flashes. Like, he was just absolutely obliterating him, and I can't wait to see that again. I really cannot wait to see that. And I do think that maybe now that Yuji has some time to potentially rest, like, we don't know what's going to happen. Maybe, like they were saying earlier in the chat, Yuji and Todo will be in the domain clash, and they will both assist Yuta during that domain clash and try and beat Sukuna that way. But it would be pretty interesting if they actually take this time to rest, you know? Maybe with Unlimited Void, it's one of those things that Yuta can't decide, like, make the sure hit, not hit him. Even though Yuta was doing that with Jacob's Ladder, it could be different with Unlimited Void because it's just such a special sure hit, Infinite Void. So maybe for that reason they won't get involved in it, and they'll just take some time to rest and recruit, and just heal up, sort of. And maybe Yuji will get a better understanding of his technique, Cleave and Dismantle, in the few minutes that it's going to take for Yuta to fight Sukuna. But again, maybe that's not the case, and they're just going to, like, triple team him in the domain. I prefer they just triple team him inside the domain. I think that would be absolutely hilarious. That would just be funny. Absolutely. And this just hurt. This just hurt so much to read. Like, honestly, I still have the profile picture because of Choso, you know, because I'm hurt because of Choso. I got the Fly High King, you know, the broken heart in my profile because of Choso. A lot of people moved on, but I didn't. And I know some Choso fans still haven't. Like, we haven't moved on, man. Like, I don't know if I'll ever move on, man. I don't know if I ever will. Just hurts. And I have, like, this little Choso, I think it's called, like, Chuni? Chuni is what they call it. I'm not really too sure. It's like a plushie. It's the only JJK, beside the volumes. I have all the volumes, you know. I gotta pay my respects to, not respects, sorry. I gotta, like, support the official, especially because I read the scans. I'm still paying for Viz, but I feel like, because I'm reading scans, I should at least buy the volumes, you know, so that's why I buy them. And, you know, also because I want to, but the only actual piece of merchandise I have of JJK, actually, no, I shouldn't say that. I have this sort of Jujutsu High hoodie. It's the exact same one that Yuji has, like, it's just like Yuji's one. How do I say, like, with the red hood, and it's like a black thing, and then like a black hoodie, and you have like the Jujutsu High dot. My brother actually got that for my birthday, which God bless him, man. I absolutely love him. Very sweet of him to do that. So I have that. But in terms of what I bought for myself, I just have this little Choso, like, chuni. It's tiny. I can fit it in my palm. I got it straight from Japan. It was very expensive. And I don't know if it was worth it because I thought it was gonna be big, but it was like the size of my palm. But it's so cute, and I did it because I love Choso, and he's dead. Oh my god, he's actually dead. Gege truly dropped a generational batch of chapters. He really did. I mean, like, seriously, we had the Yuji Black Flashes, the Domain, Choso's death, and then this insane plot twist, and then Todo's return as well. Holy shit, like, he cooked. He absolutely cooked. Like, the string of the past 4 chapters, I think it's been like 4 or 5 chapters, have been phenomenal beyond phenomenal. Like, it's just like you're saying, Luffy Taro, it's just generational. Absolutely generational. What a nice brother. Yeah, absolute lad, man. Like, he's absolutely goated brother. Funny enough, my brother is on chapter 257, so he's on the chapter where he hit the Black Flashes, and I kept telling my brother how, man, the new twist in JJK is wild, and I said, don't, like, because he doesn't look at spoilers and that stuff. He's not in the JJK fanbase at all. He just reads it. He just reads it casually, and that's all. But I was like, just wait, because he said he's going to catch up with the past 4 chapters, and I was like, no, wait for TCB to translate this chapter, because I told him don't read Viz, and I showed him how bad it is. I was like, wait for TCB to translate this and then read it, because I did not want him to be on that cliffhanger of, you know, Gojo coming back. So he's gonna read it today. I'm very curious to see how he'll react. People say JJK is ass. It's crazy, man. Like, I think it's one of those things where it just becomes so popular, isn't it? Where it becomes, it just becomes like a common opinion to show something that's popular. And I remember I knew this girl like such a long time ago. Funny enough, actually, I'll explain this. I think you know who this person is as well, Luffy Taro. But years ago, I knew her like I think 5-6 years ago, and she was like that. I could never understand this, where she would only watch anime or TV shows that like it's very underground or underrated. If anything, it was even mildly popular. Mildly, like it was just sort of popular or it sort of had a fan base. She just didn't want to watch it. I couldn't understand that. I was like, what the hell? I just, for the life of me, I was like, why? I was like, but what if you enjoy it? What if you think it's good? And she was like, nah, you know, it's just popular. It kind of ruins it. Like, wow. I think to this day, that stuck with me because I couldn't believe that opinion. I couldn't believe like that was an actual take. And I think it's like maybe less to that extreme, but people are like that, where something becomes popular, they're just like, oh, I hate this, I really don't like it, just simply because it's popular. You know, it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. They want to be that. I could not sum it up better. Luffy Taro, they want to be different so badly. I think that is the best way you could have said it. That's what I was trying to say, but I just couldn't put it into words. Contrarians, yeah, BTB, that as well. Like that exactly. These are the way, like, words I struggle to think of in the moment. Contrarians or wanting to be different. Like, it's just really, just enjoy it. If something's super popular, who cares if you like it? Like, if you love Demon Slayer or like JJK and the most like popular series in the world, who cares? You know, it's fun. You enjoy it. Like, just because it's popular doesn't mean you should love it any less. You know, Demon Slayer vibes, yeah. Like, Demon Slayer genuinely gets so much hatred because it's popular. And I feel like a big reason is because it's not like 10 out of 10 peak fiction. People hate it for that reason. Well, because it's so popular, they're saying, no, you're this popular, you must be perfection beyond perfection, you must be the greatest of all time, otherwise the popularity isn't deserved. And I feel like that is just something I couldn't disagree with more. With Demon Slayer, the reason it's so popular is because I think it's very good, borderline, very good to great. I think that's where it is. Like, I would say it's like a solid 7.5 or 8 out of 10. You know, it's not like one of the best in history. It's not bad. It's not bad though. I don't even think it's average. I think it's good, if not very good, potentially like borderline great. That's where I'd put it. But just because that's the case, people just hate on it a lot, saying, oh, One Piece is better, I don't know, like, Bleach is better, JJK is better, like, I don't know, I'm just trying to think of series. Like, for this reason, that shouldn't be that popular. Where I think it's the opposite, like, sometimes, because Demon Slayer, it's so, and please remember, I'm not saying this as an insult, because it's so simple, because it's so straightforward, I think that's why it's so popular. Because anybody can get into it. Like, whether you're an adult or a child, it's just easy to get into. There's nothing overly complex, nothing too crazy. It's like simplicity done to perfection. This is something I think I've been saying for decades. Like, Demon Slayer is an example of doing something like in a simple manner, but doing that to the, like, how do I say this? To absolute perfection, to the best you possibly could. To the point you can create something that can be enjoyed by the most amount of people. And not to say that, like, it's bad. It's doing these simple concepts very well. Like I just said, it's doing them better than anybody can. If it was just the case that you write a simple story and you get a lot of fans, a lot of stories that are garbage would be popular. But Demon Slayer executes these simple concepts like, insanely well. Like, all of them very well. And that's why it's so popular, I think. It's generic? Yeah, exactly. But what you mean? Because of the demons and stuff like that. I wasn't even saying because of demons, right? I was saying that just simply because of its writing. How the characters are fairly straightforward. Like you just said actually before, the villains are fairly straightforward. They have complexities, they have depth, definitely, for sure, I'm not denying that. But it's doing simple concepts, like just smashing it out of the park. Like, it is nailing them on the head. And that's why it's so great. Sakamoto Days is the most underrated. I don't think it's underrated. I think everybody who's read Sakamoto Days rates it highly. I think what you're saying, it's not as popular as it should be, right? I think that's what you're saying. Because if that's what you're saying, I completely agree. I think Sakamoto Days right now, and has been for a while, one of the best series in Shonen right now. Like, it is beyond insane. Oh, maybe you're right, because Kilroy's saying it's a mid-story. I couldn't disagree more. I think it's a really, really good written story. We are doing things right now that have been set up since like the very first arc and saga, like the whole slur thing in X. We're still in that now. Like, it has been one complete story from start to end. And just the character writing, the depth to it, the plot to it, it's all so well written. Like, the fights are godlike, but it's just well written in general. I think it's phenomenal. I take it back. Maybe Dark Envy, you're right about that. But just generally though, the general feel I get compared to, let's think. Maybe Kagurabachi is a good example. Where a lot of people hate on Kagurabachi, I think it's underrated for that reason because people hate on it. But I don't see, even though Kilroy was just hating on it, I mean, you still love the fights, fair enough. See, I can respect that, but I see a lot less people hating on Sakamoto Days. Like, everyone who reads it, for the most part, I think loves it and says it's phenomenal. It's like we were talking about earlier, it's just not popular enough. I think that's what you're talking about. Best cast you've ever seen, it's so good. Undead Unluck is really, really good. Wish more people would check it out. Again, I've been saying this, I think, for a couple months on stream. I remember we were talking about this last stream as well, in case you guys missed it. Because again, if you guys have been in the streams, you've heard me say this a million times. I truly believe Undead Unluck is better than JJK. I'm not saying I like it more than JJK. I'm not saying you have to like it more than JJK. Simply from a writing standpoint, I don't think it's just one of the best in Shonen right now. I truly, wholeheartedly believe Undead Unluck is one of the best in Shonen history. I know how wild of a statement that is because I don't even have JJK up there like that. I think Undead Unluck is within all the greats. I think it's there. I know, controversial, very controversial take, and it's really hard to. It's sort of like LeBron James, the very funny example, very funny, where it's hard to appreciate how great it truly is when it's happening in the moment. It's usually only after it's done and it's passed after a couple years, people then go back and say, holy shit, this is phenomenal. This is really, really good. Never watched it. I haven't seen the anime, actually. A shout out LeBron James. Yeah, LeBron gets so much hate. I feel like it has changed recently, though, especially when he won his 4th ring with the Lakers. It changed quite a lot of that, I can't lie. But before his 4th ring, people were saying, this guy's garbage, he's not even, top 10 or something, top 5. It's just, even now some people say that, it's just hard to appreciate greatness when it's in front of you. The way LeBron will be remembered, compared to how he's talked about now, is, drastically different. I feel like how people are going to talk about LeBron in 10 years after he's retired, compared to how they talk about him while he's playing, it's going to be so different. They're going to be talking about him like he was a myth, or an urban legend, right? In 20 years after he's retired, they're going to be talking about how did this guy even exist, right? But when you talk about him now, it's it's hard to appreciate in the moment. By the way, I still have MJ as the goal. MJ, I think he's the greatest of all time. I got LeBron as number 2, though. I think if LeBron wins one more ring, I think it's a really good debate. But it is what it is. Just gotta put it out there. And not to downplay LeBron. Okay, just because you think MJ's the GOAT, it doesn't mean you think LeBron's. I think LeBron is by far and away better than anybody else in history. And I think he's the only person who's close to MJ. I got my top 5. Last thing I'll talk about basketball, because I know a lot of people don't watch basketball, but top 5 for me: MJ, LeBron, Magic, Kobe, and Kareem. I'd say Kareem number 5. Yeah. 6 to 10 is really hard to talk about. It's a gem. Oh, it's Undead Unluck is. I just think it's so phenomenal. It's so well written. So well written, man. Scored 100 points, Wilt Chamberlain. I mean, to be fair, him and Bill Russell are just too far in the past. Way too far in the past. LeBron equals Gojo. It is, isn't it? LeBron is Gojo, Sukuna is MJ. This is like if we got prime MJ versus prime LeBron. That's what we got with Gojo versus Sukuna. You know what I mean? Kyle knows ball. In this sense, literally, yeah, basketball. But, yeah. Wilt Chamberlain is Kashimo. That is an interesting comparison. Interesting comparison. But anyway, right? So back to the chapter, because that's what it's supposed to be about. Again, I even tweeted this as well, a reference to J. Cole, shout out J. Cole. you know, the good news is you came a long way. The bad news is you went the wrong way. I kind of feel like that with Yuta right now, where he has come so far, right? He has changed so much, but I feel like he went down the wrong path. And I'm not, like, this isn't to downplay him. I have so, like I've been saying all stream, I have so much respect for Yuta, and I think it was something that I have been asking for everybody, especially in my Binding Vow video. Which video? This one. Funny enough, like, what I said in this video from 11 days ago, the Binding Vows have become a problem, Yuta quotes me directly in this video. Like, he... Guys, for the culture, I appreciate it. Kevin Durant is Yuta low-key, isn't he? He kind of is. But, yeah, I'm gonna dip. It was good having you, 7 Sins. Very nice having you, man. Appreciate it. I hope you have a great day. But man, oh no, by the way, Hollow Puppa was saying that, like, Kevin Durant's like, Yuta, shout out you. But, yeah, in this video, so I don't know if you guys saw it, maybe not, because it didn't do as well as the ones that came after it, but I'm not going to force you to watch it. What I say in this video is the main cast, just, why are they not abusing Binding Vows? Are they afraid of sacrificing, like, things? Because right now, you are up against the strongest sorcerer in history. This is what I was saying in this video. You do not have the luxury to take it easy, to not make sacrifices, to not make Binding Vows, to not give it all away to beat Sukuna, because I felt like that was a frustration I had. That there was like a lack of Binding Vow usage with the cast. Yuta says that in this chapter, where he says, you know what, let me go to it exactly from TCB. Let's see. Oh, look at this. Damn, Yuta, why do you sound pissed? I'm sorry, I was just reading it. I just so much love for Yuta. Here, Yuta said what I said in that video, bar for bar, like word for word. He copied my whole flow. He copied my whole flow, man. He says, do you realize who we're up against? The strongest sorcerer in history. Like a Kusakabe reaction. I haven't seen this in HD, damn. The strongest sorcerer in history. Ryomen Sukuna, and Shoko is like, damn, he's tripping. Like, why is he crashing out? If throwing away our humanity gives us a shot at winning, we should throw it away. Does becoming a monster scare you that badly? I feel bad for Maki as well. It's so sweet but bittersweet as well, because like you can tell it's affecting her the most, and Inumaki in the back as well. But it's true though. He's not wrong. Like, this is something I said in that Binding Vow video from 11 days ago, and I think just directly said what I said. Like, you're up against the strongest sorcerer in history. I guess, but switch out Binding Vows for humanity, and he just said what I said. Because I said, like, if making Binding Vows and throwing away your lives gives you a shot at winning, then just do it. Like, you should, that's a good thing. You know? He really threw away his ideals. The polar opposite of Yuji. Again, I'm not going to go all the way back into depth with this early in the stream, but if you heard what I said before, like Yuji and Yuta, the parallels, how they're both so different, why they're both so great, and why Yuji will, like, he will be the one to defeat Sukuna. It has to be him. Has to be. Yuji ate his brothers though. That is nothing against Yuji's, what he would do. We saw Yuji do this all the way in the beginning. Yuji eats cursed objects. I feel like there's a fine line there that Yuji has, like, he's always been okay with doing something like that. Like, he literally did it in the very beginning of the series. He ate a Sukuna finger. He ate a cursed object. It was the first thing that he did all the way back then. So, I guess, like, that's why I don't think it's hypocritical of Yuji. This is something he's always done. Like, even without hesitation, he ate that finger. You know? Maybe you could argue it's different, though, because, you know, he's doing it with his brothers, the death paintings, but they are still cursed objects. You know? So, it's a bit cruel to say that, but it is not out of character. It's not like he's throwing away his humanity when he does that. It is something Yuji's always done, even with his humanity. You know? Yuji's always had issues of killing. Yeah, I guess it's a bit like, how do I say this? Murky when it's his brothers, I guess, but it's not new for him. It's a bit like complicated though, I will definitely say. But at the very least, he does stand true to his ideals and his beliefs, at the very least. He's not casting in his humanity like Yuta did to beat Sukuna. But shout out though, shout out Yuta, shout them all. Let me see what other tweets I made as well. They looked at Yuta. Mr. 60. That is actually probably the funniest thing I read all day. They looked at Yuta at like the Gote 13, looked at Kyoraku, freed Aizen. Not wrong, man. Like, not wrong. They saw like this guy was like, yeah, I should free Aizen. They looked at him like, oh man, you're insane. What are you thinking? That's pretty fun. Hey, Quirkless, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Absolutely, go with YouTuber. Yuji needs to lock in even more. Oh, for sure. Like, absolutely. I mean, again, whether it's, like we were talking about earlier in the stream, whether it's him and Toto are going to take a 5-minute rest, or him and Toto are going to absolutely bully Sukuna as a 3v1. Like, we have Gojo, right, at least his body, and we have Yuji and Toto, and potentially, Yuta and Gojo's body may have copy of Rika. Maybe. Like, that's unclear. Like, Sukuna just gets cooked. I don't know, like, the only chance is if he had, like, it's truly a 5-minute time limit. And that's the only thing he has. You know? W Quirkless, shout out Quirkless. Absolutely go with YouTube. Absolutely go with man. Letting Aizen out was low-key hilarious. I mean, yeah, that was wild. I can't even lie. How did they get Aizen back in the chat? Bro, how did they actually get him back? That's the one thing I have to ask. I guess maybe because he was so injured after Yuha... Oh, wait, I should not say spoilers. I just realized because the Bleach anime, some people might be anime only. I was about to say some insane spoilers. I think I already said like a small one, but I'll stop there. But, you know, yeah, it is what it is. I have some questions about how Aizen ended up back where he was in the final arc. I guess, yeah, again, maybe because of what Yuha did, and, you know, I can't say what happened because that's a spoiler. But if you read the manga, you know the situation Aizen was in at the final battle. So maybe it was easier to restrain him because of that. I don't know. Yeah, maybe he was unconscious for a while, something like that. That's the only... unless he just willingly went back to the chat, I don't know. It was a bit odd. But, you know, this picture's so cursed. It is really well drawn, though. Like, the detail is off the charts. Alright, guys. I will be live for about, like, 3 to 5 more minutes. And let's see how the poll is doing. And then I will end it. Because I wish I could stream for another hour or two. But I gotta go play football. I do have to go play football. And get ready for that, because I gotta like go change, get ready, and take that. I did walk my dog though. I walked him, actually funny enough, right before I came, I walked him. So before I start streaming. That's actually why I was a bit late. I was like, came back right away. I'm still changed, like when I was outside walking my dog, I didn't even like unchanged. I just instantly tried my best to start the stream as fast as possible. Let me know like any final thoughts you have to say about this chapter. Let me know. Kaio is the LeBron of dog walking. I am not. Trust me, I am not that good. My brother's 1,000 times better. I only walk him usually if like my brother's at work or something. What position do you play? Yeah, wait, I'm surprised because I didn't say I played basketball, but unless you asked before if I played basketball. Yeah, I was point guard. I actually did play for a couple teams. There was a time like I had an unhealthy addiction to basketball. When I was in high school, I played like 12 hours a day every day. Even when I was fasting for Ramadan, I just wouldn't drink. I just played. I don't know if it's possible to have an unhealthy addiction, but yeah, it was what it was. But I just played basketball a lot was the thing. Yeah, and I played point guard. Even at my like super short height, you know, I'm only 5'7". Shout out Short Kings, but what am I saying? 5'7" is like monstrously tall, like right guys, right? Surely. But yeah, I play point guard. It's easy in the UK though, because people are like compared to America. Like in America, man, if you're 6 foot, like you're barely the height for a point guard. But in the UK, if you're 6 foot, you're like a power forward. You could play center in the UK if you're 6 foot. If you're 6'1", bro, they're throwing in your center every time. You know? So I guess for that, like if I was in America, I don't know if I could have been. I probably could have, but it would have been infinitely harder, I think. Like I would have needed to go on a lot better. But in the UK, it's a little easy because like the height is just much shorter, I think, in comparison. L chapter, I disagree, but fair enough. You know, you're okay to have your opinion. I can understand this. This chapter was controversial to say the least. In the same way with people, I had invitations to try out some low-tech colleges. Oh, your point guard, Tiberius. That's crazy. That is good to hear. Peak chapter 510. Shout guys, shout. Basketball in the UK is easy considering barely anyone plays. A lot of people do play. Let's not make it sound like nobody plays. Like, if you go to any basketball park, especially during the summer, it's always packed. At least the ones in London. I don't know about anywhere else. But what you're saying is true, though. It is not... The skill gap is way... how do I say this? There's a massive skill gap between America and UK basketball. That is like the way you said that is undeniably true. But I would disagree with like saying barely anyone plays. A lot of people play in the UK. I would really disagree with that. A lot of people do play, but the level of skill is huge between America and UK. Like I remember this one time, so many years ago when I was in high school, this guy from America, he's not even like a pro player. He was just from America and he played basketball casually, and he was smoking us. He was like absolutely smoking us. I'm like, damn, they do not play in the US. Like they just do not play. Almost as tall as Yuji. Fair enough, but I'll take that, I guess. But it is what it is. There is more football in South East London versus basketball. Of course, yeah. Like no. I'm not saying basketball is the most played. Like football, because I'm about to end the stream and go play football right now. So, like football is definitely far more played and far more popular. I just mean to say like basketball is not barely played though. At least in London. I don't know about like anywhere else. Out of like inside England. Them anime protagonists all at the same 5'8" height. They always do. And then there's always that like time skip where they just have a growth spurt and they become 6'5" every time. Every time. It just happens every single time. Like, fair enough though. Football overrated? I'm not too big of a fan of football, to be honest. I'm only going because like all of my friends play. So that's why I'm going. I mean, you know, it's a weekly thing. Sometimes I don't go like every week though. I should like bi-weekly. But usually I go every week just to play with my friends. It's just mainly for fun. Sun Jin Woo? I mean, at least him, he had a reason. He was going through, he's like leveling up, getting strong, and his actual ability was making him taller. At least I think that's what I always thought was going on. Alright, let me end the poll. We have 325 votes. I remember the last stream we had 1.7k. That was insane. 2 days, we had 1.7k votes. But wow, that was absolutely wild. But yeah, W stream by Kai. It was a lot of fun, guys. It was so much fun, as always. Thank you so much for coming by. Thank you so much, Dice, Mr. 60, Domus, Kilroy, Ricardo. Thank you so much, guys. Sukuna got 99 seconds. Yeah, I forgot to talk about that, but yeah, only 99 seconds domain. Tiberius, SMKI. It was so much fun, guys. Like, honestly, BTB, much fun, guys. Much fun, guys. Thank you so much for coming on. And, yeah, I guess that's all, right? I will see you guys. Oh, we're on a break. I think we're on a break, right? Man, all I'm going to say is it's going to be wild. It is going to be a wild 2-week break, and just be ready. Just be ready. But I think that's all. All right. Have a great day wherever you are in the world, and I hope you're all doing well. Take care.